What if you could have something that's crunchy and salty and satisfying and hits that junk food craving? Welcome to the Keto Baking Mechanic, where we create, tweak, and enhance keto and low-carb breads and baked goods, including authentic keto and low-carb sourdough. Hi, I'm Sherry Mack. You'll always get the recipe link in the description. Be sure to like the recipe. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure that you hit that notification bell so you can be informed when I have other videos coming down the pike. I'm talking about keto 2-ingredient flaxseed sourdough crackers. Yes, flaxseed sourdough crackers. They're so delicious, super easy to make. They're crunchy. You can make them salty, and they are so good with dips and cheeses, whatever you like. And guess what? They're high in fiber, low in fat, delicious. Keep you satiated, and the next morning, you're going to thank me. This cracker recipe has 2 ingredients. You've got flax and you've got your sourdough, your living sourdough discard or starter, your BioBoss living sourdough starter, also called discard because you're discarding it from the jar of the living starter and using it in a recipe. Normally people discard it and throw it out, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use everything. It's a living substance. You want to honor it. So what happens when you add this discard to the flaxseed cracker recipe? First of all, it's going to add a new dimension of flavor. The tanginess from the discard offsets the bitterness of the flax. Secondly, that adds more complexity to the flavor profile of the actual crackers. It makes them more satisfying. And if you add a couple of functional properties like seasonings, everything but the bagel seasoning or salt, you're bringing more of the taste sensations into the picture. You've got the bitterness from the flax, you've got the tanginess from the discard, you got the saltiness from your seasoning on top. More of the taste sensations makes it more satisfying. You feel like you've met that need when you're eating. You've got that comfort food need. Also, lastly, the sourdough discard helps with the digestion of the flax in your system once you eat the crackers. That's what a fermented food can do. So by adding that one little product, your living BioBoss sourdough starter, you're actually getting more flavor and you're increasing the digestibility of the crackers. And if you have them with some dips, you're actually, what's the way to say this? You're satisfying your need for junk food, salty, crispy, crunchy junk food. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to start by grinding our fresh golden flax seeds. You do not want to use already ground flax seeds because the seeds oxidize. They turn the crackers darker and they're not as fresh. Okay, we're going to start by adding whole golden flax seeds to our grinder. We're going to do it in batches. So you're going to grind a whole cup of flax seeds, golden flax seeds, which will give you about a cup and almost a quarter of the ground flax. Next, you're going to add a quarter cup of your whole golden flax seeds and mix these together. Okay, now I'm going to add a half a cup of warm water. Actually, I would say hot water, and we're going to pull it together. This helps the flax to release their, I call it gelatin or gel. Okay, and now we're going to add our half cup of Biome Boss Living Starter. This video is brought to you by Sinless Sourdough, where ancient art meets low-carb science. Hi, I'm Sherry Mack, and I'm the creator of Sinless Sourdough. At Sinless, we create a line of keto, low-carb, dehydrated sourdough starters. When you purchase a starter, you get a starter guide that teaches you how to bring your starter to life, as well as a plethora of keto, low-carb, sourdough discard recipes. I feature those recipes on the channel, and you also get them when you purchase the starter. But the real value is with the Sinless Sourdough membership. With the membership, you learn how to bake 3 different styles of keto and low-carb breads and baked goods that undergo further fermentation. That's why there's video trainings to teach you how to do this. And it's that fermentation of the lactobacillus cultures and the wild yeast in the dough that give the resulting breads and baked goods all the health benefits that science talks about. But you need a membership for that, because baking authentic keto low-carb sourdough with further fermentation is a journey. Practice and error. It is not a recipe. Hence the membership. It's 99 Canadian. It's a forever price. There's no monthly fees. There's no prices next year. And you're part of the baking community with lots of free cookbooks. You could ask me as many questions as you like along your journey. You get to share your journey with other people. And you're part of the Sinless Sourdough family. I just spit. Oh my goodness. That's it. Whoops. There goes some of it on the table. So we're going to add the half cup, and then we're going to feed the remainder in the jar and start the fermentation process again. Okay, and we're just going to pull this together into a dough. We're going to let this sit for a minute while I prepare the baking sheet with parchment. Okay, so I like to make the sides even, so I just put a crease, hold it under, do the one side, crease the other side. This is like a fast and easy method. Then I'm going to lay the dough out on the parchment. Okay, I'm going to use some warm water, and I actually bought this painting, I don't know what you call it, a straightener liner for doing corners and baseboards, but I love it because I'm really not good at angles when I'm baking, so I love to use this. I use this just for baking. So we've got our water. We want to, it's very sticky, so you want to just use a little bit of water on your fingers and press it out into a rectangle. Okay, now that we have our cracker dough ready to go, you can make them plain, or you can add whatever seasonings you want to the top. If you want them crispier, put a layer of the avocado spray on the parchment before you add the dough. But I'm going to do some everything but the bagel homemade seasoning on these crackers. You can do whatever you like. You could add some herbs and spices. Okay, so to hold your seasoning or your everything bagel seasoning in, I'm going to now spray it with some avocado oil. This holds the seasonings into the dough. We're going to press it in a little bit just to make sure they go right into the dough. And on top of that, the avocado spray makes the crackers even crispier. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a pressing so they go right into the dough so they won't be falling off once the dough is baked. Okay, we're going to bake a total of 30 to 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. But we're going to pull them out of the oven 10 minutes in to slice them and then put them back in the oven for the remainder of the time. Okay, so the crackers have been in the oven for about 10 minutes. You can use a pizza cutter. This is the one I use because I'm terrible with lines. And I'm going to cut the crackers the size that I like them. Okay, here we go. The crackers are baked. You can see they're golden and crispy on the edges. And now we're going to let them sit for a couple of minutes before we move them to a cooling rack. Okay, now I'm going to transfer the crackers to the wire rack because we want them to remain crispy on the bottom. If you leave them on the tray, the moisture from the heat will accumulate and they'll be soggy on the bottom. So I'm going to try to move this whole sheet over. And I'm just going to let them cool like this for a while before I break them into pieces. Okay, I'm now going to transfer the crackers to a little bowl so I can serve that with some dips and different cheeses. Here you have it, your keto sourdough flaxseed crackers that are crispy, crunchy, salty, delicious, high in fiber, low in fat.